So up to here, we've learned how to get some data from the strings, see whether something exists, what are the different parts of the string, and we search for different items, different characters, the lengths of the string, and how to declare a string. But from here on, we're going to manipulate the strings. We're going to slice them, concatenate them, and do different kinds of operations on the string in order to do the kind of operation that we want to do, or create the kind of application we want to create. So from here on, I'm going to create another new file for data manipulation or string manipulation, and I'm going to call it call the first one is slicing, or slice string .py, and in here I'm going to use one of our strings. Okay, let's create another string, a new one, so that we have a variety of strings, and I'm going to call it new string, for instance. And here inside the quotation marks, I'm going to write for example, my name is Jack. Okay, so here we've got my name is Jack. Well, we want to only get Jack from my name is Jack. Okay, so here we want to, or for example, we have, instead of saying my name is Jack, here it's written name and it says Jack. So we want to get Jack from here. And so in order to do that, there are so many different ways to make this happen, because we have name and we have here we have quotation and we have Jack. We know from which part of the string we have the name. So for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then from the 8th character the name starts up to the end. Okay, so we want to only get the name, so it starts from the 8th character up to the end. In order to get only the name, we get name, so we declare name and say new string, and then inside of the brackets we're going to say we want to start from which member, which character, and or want to know the sequence of that character, which member it is. So it's the 8th member and up to the end. So if it is up to the last character, we write nothing as the number. So let's save this and see what happens. So as always, we're going to write Python 3. Here the name is slice string.py, and so we need to also print name, print name, save the code and see what happens. Okay, it says Jack, not Jack. So because it's the 8th character, it's going to start from 8th on, so it starts from 9. So I need to here write 7, because it's not going to include 7 and it's going to start from 7, not the 7th member or character itself. So it says Jack. Okay, so it starts from 7th on up to the end. So 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. If you want to write the last character number and let's see whether 11 works. So let's save the code and rerun Python 3, and so it works. So this is the 11th, but because we don't know how long the name is, here we don't write any number because the name might be Joey, right? Joey is the same, okay? So if you write 11, it works the same. It's whether it's Owen, Joey, there are full letter names, but for example, it's James, and you write 11. What happens that it prints out James, not James. So to make it work, you need to write 12, but consider there are longer names or shorter names. What happens is that this number is not going to work, so we write nothing here, okay? And there are also moments when, okay, let's keep it this way and define a new string. James went to school. So this kind of this example that I'm going to explain you here doesn't make any sense, but later we're going to understand the application of this kind of statement. So here imagine that you want to get the string from the beginning up to a certain character. For example, you want to start from actually let's change this one to name 2. You only want to get James, and there's always James here. So here you also want to print name 2. So it starts from the very beginning up to 5. So let's see whether the 5th character is also going to be printed out. So let's save it and run it. Print name 2, and so it says name. Actually, it's 2, my string, new string 2. So let's save it. Python 3 slice, and it says James. Okay, the 5th one is also going to be considered. But here, when we wanted to start from a certain character, we needed to consider the recent one, the last one. For example, if we want to start from J here, if J is the 8th member of 8th character of this string, we need to start from the 7th. Okay, but if we want to end with the 5th character, we need to here write 5. Okay, but later I'm going to tell you why we need this kind of writing. Also, for example, if you want to, let me call it string, gets from a certain character to the other character, for example, from the 6th, you want to get event. For example, we can write it action, but you know, this action also can vary considering the number of letters the action has. For example, went, did, but here just an example, and let's not focus on the kind of application that this kind of operation has in the future, but you will understand all of this together. For example, there are moments that we want to search for example, for J or for James here, and then we want to see what happens after James, what James did. So we search here, for example, we say James, and then we find where James is, and then from that part on we look for what happened. So what James did. For example, James went to school, and then we were going to print it. What did James do? James went to school. Okay, here we want to start with the 6th member, and we want to go to 7, 8, 9, 10, up to the 10th character. So let's save it and print action. So action equals length.